Hello, you're on PubSpot. I'm George. Welcome to this series on application and infrastructure code security. Today, I'll be wrapping up this series with a show and tell on integrating Terraform code scans with Snyk and Github actions. And so if this episode and the content of this channel lines up with your interest, hit the subscribe button and join me in this journey of learning by doing. So, let's start coding. On the previous episode, which you can access right here, I did a show and tell on how to scan Terraform code using Snyk on my local machine. Today, I'm going to move this scan into my CI process to make sure I identify and address any serious security threats on my Terraform code. And so as always, I'm going to make sure that I have the latest set of code on my local machine by running git pull. And then I'm going to create a branch for today's changes. To start making the changes to my CI pipeline, I'm going to open my infrastructure YAML file. On my infrastructure pipeline, I have a step in here right after checkout step that performs a scan on my Terraform code. This block right here. However, this is doing the scan only on one particular Terraform code, which is main.tf. What I need to do is update this block to make sure that all my Terraform codes are being scanned. First thing I'll do is remove the file property on this step. I also need to adjust the threshold to low to make sure that I get security findings and appreciate what the scan does. I will need to create a custom Sarif output file for this run, so I need to update the argument property for this. And because I'm using a custom Sarif output file, I need to disable the default Sarif property on this step. I need to publish the Sarif scan results from this step. I have this already set up in my application YAML file, so all I have to do is open that file, head to the step that publishes the Sarif output file, which is right here, copy that block, and then head back to my infrastructure YAML file, and place that new step after the vulnerability scan. I need to update the Sarif file property to point this to the file name that I've set in the previous step. And all that's left for me to do now is check in all my changes and push them to my remote origin. And now I'm gonna head to GitHub on my browser and raise a pull request for my changes. And with this pull request created, I'm gonna scroll all the way down this page, click on the infrastructure deployment details, and then monitor the progress of my CI process. My infrastructure CI process is complete, but it's on a failed state. And so if I go back to my pull request, head down to the bottom of this page for all the checks, and then I need to go and check the code scanning results for my infrastructure as code. So I'll click the details next to this line. Click on View All Branch Alerts. And this page will render all the findings for my scans on my Terraform code. And if I open one of the findings, it will give me more details of the findings. It will also tell me where in the code the vulnerability was found. And if I expand these details more, it will also provide me information on how I can resolve this issue. I'm going to rectify all the medium severity findings, so let me switch back to my code. I'll go ahead and open my main.tf. And I'll start with fixing the ACL property on my thumbnail S3 bucket at line 241. The next finding I will fix is the missing server-side encryption on my Docker run S3 bucket at line 44. And lastly, setting the server-side encryption for my SQS service at line 268. Before I go ahead and check in my changes, I need to adjust the severity threshold for my Terraform scans to only pick up at least medium severity. So I'm gonna go back to my infrastructure YAML file. And on this block here, I'll change the severity threshold to medium. Now I'm going to open my terminal and check in my changes and push it to my remote repository. And now if I switch back to my browser, go back to my pull request, scroll all the way down this page, and then open the infrastructure deployment section for the details, and then monitor the progress of my CI process. My vulnerability scan still failed, so if I go back to my pull request, head all the way down this page, and open the code scanning results for my infrastructure as code, and I've got one more medium severity finding that I need to address, so let's open that. So this finding is complaining about a missing server-side encryption property, so let me go back to my code and fix that finding. Save my changes, commit it, and push it to my remote repository. Now I'm going to head back to my browser, head over to my pull request, and watch the progress of my CI process for my infrastructure. My infrastructure CI process has progressed through and is now running Terraform plan. This means the code scan for my infrastructure has passed. So now if I head back to my pull request, and then scroll down to the bottom of this page, and then I'm going to open this code scanning results for my infrastructure as code. All my open findings have now been transitioned to closed after I remediated all the medium findings. When my infrastructure CI process is done, I can then proceed with merging my latest changes to the trunk of my repository. And that's it for today's episode and this series. Stay tuned as I continue to explore and build up my skills and knowledge of the DevOps tools. For now, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below and send me some likes if you find this useful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like my content and help me spread the word about this channel. Until next time, keep learning and stay safe.